Yo, what is good, Knicks Nation? Welcome back to Knicks Media. This is Richie, and in this video, I want to talk about a report that just came out from SNY's Ian Begley that is talking about William Wesley citing Tom Thibodeau as a significant factor causing Knicks' woeful season. So this article from SNY, I'm going to break it down and give you guys my thoughts about this because throughout the entire season, I always said on this channel, the one thing that I'm scared about the most about this team is the front office and the coaching staff not being on the same page. And what this article is all about is saying that exact reality is here, that Tom Thibodeau and the coaching staff and the Knicks front office seem to be not on the same page, and there's a lot of things that is going wrong with the Knicks. Obviously, we're heading into the All-Star break, going after a terrible loss last night to the Brooklyn Nets. You guys saw my rant last night. I had a lot of things to say to get off my chest. There's not a lot of positive things to talk about when it's regarding these New York Knicks. So right now, I want to make this video and talk about my thoughts about what the Knicks need to do. Do they fire Tom Thibodeau? Do they fire Leon Rose? Do they have a complete, mishap? Do they just fire everybody, or are they going to try to run it back with these same people? Because there's a lot of things going wrong, as you guys know, and I just want to give you guys my thoughts about William Wesley going up to the owner, James Dolan, and saying, like, maybe Tom Thibodeau could be the reason why the Knicks are not really being at the top of the Eastern Conference like they were last year. So, guys, before I hop into the video, I just want to mention, if you guys are new to Knicks Media, make sure you smash that subscribe button. I got a lot of Knicks content coming your way for the rest of the season and, of course, carrying over into the offseason. And if you guys enjoy this video, please don't forget to thumbs it up. And if you want to check me out over on Instagram and Twitter, that is at NYKnicks_media. With that being said, let's jump right into the video. So, here's the article from Ian Begley. If you guys want to read it yourself, I'll leave it down below in the description. Just click on that link and you'll be able to read it. So as you can see from the title of it, like I said earlier, William Wesley citing Tom Thibodeau as significant factor causing Knicks' woeful season. In conversations with James Dolan, Wesley has placed blame on Thibodeau. So this is really crazy stuff right here, guys. And I'm kind of happy this is finally coming out for the public, because I felt like this was an issue behind closed doors that we were not aware of. You know what I mean? Like, Knicks fans are in the dark. For whatever reason, Leon Rose just doesn't speak to the media at all. The only time we ever heard from Leon Rose was when he talked to Mike Breen when he first got hired as the Knicks president, and that drives me crazy. So if we dive into this article, here's a quote from Tom Thibodeau from last night's game, after last night's loss to the Brooklyn Nets after blowing a 28-point lead against the Brooklyn Nets without Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving and now Ben Simmons. Thibodeau had to say, "A byproduct of losing is everyone wants to place blame. I not understand that. We all have jobs to do. The season has not gone well as it has. It didn't go great last year until the end, right? Lock into what we have to do. Don't get caught up in getting distracted and focus on what we can do to get better. That's where I want the focus to lie." So obviously that's a head coach talking about the only job he has right now is to try to turn the ship around, because what else is Tom Thibodeau trying to do? I feel like he understands that his job might be on the line because things are not going the way that anybody expected. So now, if we get into the deep, gritty part of this report, which is the reason why I want to talk about this in a video, is Knicks Executive Vice President William Wesley had something to say to owner James Dolan. In a conversation with Knicks owner James Dolan this month, Wesley has been laying the blame of the season, at least in part, to Coach Thibodeau, according to SNY sources. Does that mean Tom Thibodeau will be fired during the All-Star break? I don't know. That's a pretty crazy question. As stated previously, I would be a bit surprised if he were to be let go, but stranger things have happened. The idea that Wesley is privately citing Tom Thibodeau's coaching as a significant factor behind New York's struggles is definitely noteworthy. So this is definitely something I needed to talk about in the video, because this is a really big deal for the New York Knicks. Going into the season, I had a lot of optimism. I had a lot of really positive feeling about both the Knicks front office and the coaching staff. If you guys remember, last year, Leon Rose gets hired. He brings in Coach Thibodeau. He brings in Will West as an executive. And we go out there and Julius Randle All-Star. Julius Randle for second All-NBA team. Julius Randle Most Improved Player. Tom Thibodeau Coach of the Year. Knicks 4th seed. Just everything exploded out of nowhere. And all of us Knicks fans were not used to all of a sudden being relevant again. And we're back. Knicks fans feel like we actually have a competent front office. They made a big-time move. Tom Thibodeau was the right hire. Julius Randle is becoming a star. We give him an extension. And then this past offseason, Leon Rose and the entire front office goes out there and they signed Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier. They re-signed Alec Burks. They re-signed Nerlens Noel. They re-signed a lot of their own players to run it back this year. And now we're realizing, like, hey, this is not working at all. So I think that blame needs to be placed on both the front office and the coaching staff. I'm not saying it's all Thibodeau's fault. I'm not saying it's all the front office fault or the players' fault. I think everybody needs to be, held accountable in this situation, because that's the reality of the situation. So the biggest problem I have right now, guys, is You'll never be able to be a competent, successful organization in this league without having a front office and the coaching staff on the same page. It's organic. It's okay to have disagreements. That's part of the being a organization that's successful. And they always have disagreements, but the good organizations are the ones that can have those healthy conversations and they come out of it with a product of being on the same page and have that synergy. And that's what the Knicks have been missing this year. That's the problem. So now here's the big question, guys. What do the Knicks do? What does owner James Dolan do about this situation? Because it's obvious that the front office and the Knicks coaching staff are not aligned, and that is a big time issue. Coach Tom Thibodeau, apparently according to this article as well, wanted the Knicks to make a move at the trade deadline to get upgrade, and for whatever reason the front office did not do anything. They stayed pat. And listen, I'm somebody that's defended Tom Thibodeau for the majority of the season, and I'm at a point right now where it's really tough. You know, I'm at a point where I understand the criticism of Tom Thibodeau, and his rotations are driving me nuts, and his lack of adjustments is driving me nuts. His obsession with playing Alec Burks at the point guard is just getting to me, and I'm understanding, like, listen, we've got a young team. We have an actual foundation of young talent with R.J. Barrett and Mitchell Robinson and Quentin Grimes and Quickly and Obi and a guy named Miles McBride that's not getting any damn minutes. Like, it's not like we don't have a young foundation, right? That's the difference of, you know, a couple seasons ago where we knew the front office was a mess. We knew everything was not going our way. But the difference between 3 or 4 years ago to today is we actually have talent on the roster that's young and could be part of the future. So what I want to see from the Knicks after the All-Star break is making sure that we prioritize the kids. We prioritize the young youth because they are the future of the squad. Alec Burks and Kemba Walker does not deserve to get the minutes that they're getting at all. Especially at this point in the season, there's no reason to try to fight for the play-in tournament with the veterans out there. If you throw the kids in there and say Deuce McBride is part of the rotation, Cam Reddish continues to play his minutes, Quentin Grimes and RJ Barrett, all these guys play, and they play in the play-in tournament, that's a positive. But if we just run it back with these veterans, if Kemba Walker remains the starting point guard, if Alec Burks remains the guy that just gets all the clutch minutes over Emmanuel Quickly, if all these veterans are just playing all the minutes, what's the purpose of the season anymore? That's my issue right now, and that's what I want to see for the rest of the season. I know a lot of Knicks fans agree. We want a lineup that it involves the rookie McBride, that involves Grimes, even involves Jericho Sims over Taj Gibson, because we know that Taj Gibson is a dog. He's one of the, you know, fan favorite Knicks. We all love what Taj Gibson brings to the table, but he's 37 years old, and I'd rather see the young rookie Jericho Sims get some time to develop. And that's my biggest issue right now, is we're letting young guys not get the developmental minutes proper in order to let them become a player in the future. So now the biggest question is, at the end of this video I want to talk about, is what do the Knicks do with Coach Thibodeau? Are they going to fire him? You know, anything could happen. I would love to see Johnny Bryant take over the reins as an interim head coach for the rest of the season if they do decide to move on from Tom Thibodeau. But it is crazy that we're going from last year Coach of the Year Tom Thibodeau to now all of a sudden we're like, okay, Coach Tom Thibodeau might be out of the door, and I would not be shocked if they do make a move at the end of the season or in the middle of the season, because things are going south. And if it goes south in a market like the New York Knicks, things are going to be going crazy. And right now, it's toxic to be a Knicks fan. It's a reality situation. We all understand that. But please let me know in the comments down below your thoughts about the situation. Do you want Coach Thibodeau fired right now? Do you want Johnny Bryant to take over and play the kids? What's your thoughts about the article saying that World Wide West is not really on the same page of Coach Thibodeau? Let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section down below. And also, don't forget to like the video if you guys enjoyed. I really greatly appreciate that, so we get as many Knicks fans to see this video, because I love to hear what Knicks fans are thinking and what you guys have to say down in the comments, because everybody has their own opinions. I have my own opinion, you guys have your own opinions, and I love to hear what you guys have to say. So don't forget to comment down below. And yeah, guys, that does it for this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. And let's go Knicks. Peace.